Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Rambling Toffee podcast. I am Mark. I hope everybody's having a good Friday. I'm looking forward to the weekend ahead. Especially we've got a game on Sunday against Arsenal. So I'll be looking more into that later on in this podcast as we build up to that game. But as you can guess, it's Friday. I wasn't expecting the breaking news that happened earlier today regarding 7-7 Partners agreeing a deal with Farhad Moshiri to take his stake of 94.1% in the football club. Um, and I wasn't expecting that. There's been rumours all week that something was going to take place. I was hoping that would not be the case. Hope it was just rumours and just speculation as per, and hopefully somebody else would have been coming in instead. But as it all has transpired, we now have a situation where agreement has been put in place. It's going to take probably another 2-3 months before we find out if they are confirmed of having completed the takeover of the football club, um, as they have to go through the tests, regulatory tests, the Premier League, and everything else to make sure that obviously funds are going to be coming in that they've obviously have said to Farhad Moshiri that they have the money. We don't know how much money that they are paying to actually take over the club. We might find out in time, typically to keep an eye out on social media and the media in general. Hopefully, there'll be stories out there regarding what we're expecting from this takeover. Um, my personal view is, as I've said before in previous podcasts, it's quite worrying, specifically for this group, um, coming in, specifically with the clubs that they have taken over, invested in, and the struggles that these clubs seem to be going through at this precise moment and over the period of time that they have acquired these clubs. Um, we also saw from last week or the week before Standard Liège fans demonstrating against them. We've had Genoa, Genoa, the football club itself, them coming out wanting fans to invest in a new training ground. There's a lot of things where, you start asking the questions, where does the money come from? Where is the money coming from to actually acquire Everton Football Club from Farhad Moshiri and, you know, not just taking it, buying the shares from him, but also investing in Everton's new stadium, plus the running day-to-day cost of the running the club as well. So, and investing in transfers and everything else. That's the main thing that we all want to talk about is, will there be money freely available for Sean Dyche to bring players in January, say, and will this be a new change and a new direction that we all want? But with what we're hearing about who they've invested in and who they, want to, invested into other clubs, either if by putting stakes in or actual takeovers, there's been struggles from each of the clubs. They've either been in relegation or and it seems to be that they're not pumping money or putting money into investing money into these clubs for them to actually progress and grow as them football teams need to do in their respective divisions and where but at this moment in time there's a worry there. Obviously they've got a court case in America. The owner had a conviction against him. And there's a lot of negativity going around this group. And my feelings is that are they the right people for Everton Football Club? My feeling no, but what do I know? I'm not in business. I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs of what's going on at the football club at the moment. And what was discussed, obviously, with 777 regarding what they were going to invest into the football club as regarding to this takeover. It's not just about Farhad Moshiri, selling his shares. It's about the money going forward. You know, where's it? Is it going to be invested into the day-to-day running of the football club? Is it going to be, you know, invested into the stadium? They've actually kind of said in the statement today that they will also be investing into the new stadium as well. So obviously they must have funds. But according to Paul Diesk, who I have enormous respect for, he is, he's keeps on has told us many times that he doesn't think they will be able to generate or produce this amount, the amount of money that needs to be to take over this football club. Um, because the feeling I have, if for selling of this football club or altogether, it would probably cost about 900 a million pound, £1 billion to actually for the whole bid to be completed the way it should be. But of course, the other story that comes along with this is that the expertise, because one of the things that Farhad Bashiri said I think it was last February or something like that, when he said when he was looking for investors to come in, he was looking for expertise in the sporting field to come in and actually, be able to commercially and also bring the best people into the club to actually do the job of making Everton competitive enough going forward, and making the right decisions, as I mentioned, commercially, but not just commercially, but on a sporting sense. And will they be able to do that? We don't know. I'm hopeful that, they'll communicate a bit more, give Evertonians a clarification of what they want to do with the football club. I know there's only been a few words that they've said, but we need to know what they want to do, where they want to take this football club. It's not just getting into the new stadium, which is, everybody want, it seems to be the number one priority for Everton Football Club is to get into that stadium. So because they know it will generate more money for more fans going into the new stadium, and commercially and all the other things that will come with naming rights for the stadium and so on and so forth will generate money in. So I can understand the thinking why we need to get into that stadium, but we're not there yet. And to get there, it's not just about getting into this new stadium and bringing more fans in. The biggest thing that it's all about is what we talk about, which I'll talk about in a little bit later on, is about the team. It's about the team that goes out week in, week out, um, hopefully being competitive, develop into a better squad than they currently are. And hopefully in time that will happen. We can always be optimistic that as a fan we have to be optimistic to see if the club, if the team can go forward, um, and become more competitive, more challenging to the rivals a little bit further up the table. But at this moment in time, as we all know, and what we've discussed over weeks and weeks and weeks, is that obviously we don't have that money to be able to actually go out there like all the top clubs in the Premier League currently, and even clubs around us, to go and bring, more than just 5 players that we've had in the summer. That we can splash a bit more cash and be able to bring better players in to improve the squad. We've already done it through hook and by crook by bringing Beto in, who is a wonderful player, and hopefully he'll be developing to a great player for us, or the likes of Jack Harrison on loan or whatever. But we want, Jimmy T coming in as well, but he's a young player coming through. But if we want to compete with the rest of the Premier League, we've got to be able to have money available to be able to go and strengthen the team, make it better, improve it, take it to the next step, and make us competitive enough that we can at least be challenging for European places, at least get opportunities to be in cup, get further in cup competitions, and even get into finals maybe. But that's, is what we really, really want. We want to have a team that when we do move into Bramley-Moore, we have a competitive team that's going in the right direction, that's got the right players, we can all get behind, we really want to support and we would care about. But at the moment, it's proving tough to get behind this team at the moment in time because one, it's weaker because the players that we've let go, which rightly or wrongly had to happen because of circumstances that were put out there. We can talk about Alex Iwobi as an example, but basically he's 1 year left on his contract, so it was right to cash in on that. And letting players like Tom Cannon go, he had to go. He's a young player, um, and there was a club out there who wanted to spend the money. So again, down to circumstances, we had to take the money. So at this moment in time, we're in this position where you know we want that investment to come in. We want it to be the right people to do the right jobs to actually know what they're doing when they come in. Now, at the moment, all the information I get and what I've read and what is out there is that 777 have got all these clubs, but all the clubs that they have some sort of attachment to are struggling in one way. There's a lot of noise out there, specifically from fans not happy with the way that they're running their clubs. And some it just feels that it's going to happen to us as well. They're going to come in and do exactly the same thing. And you've got to remember, no disrespect to these other clubs that they've taken over. Everton Football Club is by far bigger than these clubs will ever be because they're not just because it's Everton Football Club and our history and everything about that and our traditions and everything about our football club. It's it's down to the fact we're in the Premier League. We're a Premier League club. We should be a Premier League club. We are not a Championship club. We're not a club that's gonna. We shouldn't be because of the size and the fan base. Our fan base is massive, and as I mentioned when I had a chat with Tom of Long Island Toffees a few weeks ago, it's far and wide our fan base and the passion and the drive and belief that Evertonians all over the world have for this football club is unbelievable. And that's what makes us who we are. And it's all well and good at this moment in time that 777 are going to come in, they're going to take over the football club, and we are now going to say goodbye to Farhad Moshiri, who's been an absolute failure since he took ownership of the football club in 2018. In 2016, he obviously invested at that point, and then obviously took full ownership. But in that period of time, and all the money that he has spent, and all the investment that he's put on getting the stadium again, I go back to the stadium be in a position that it's going to be completed. That's his only legacy I can see he has is that stadium, and getting it off the ground and getting it into the position that it is, going forward. But him and the board throughout that period of time, including Bill Kenwright, we talk about Bill Kenwright all the time. Bill Kenwright and him have over that period of time, board decisions, who at the CEO or whoever, have made decisions that have taken this football club from being a team that is always in European spots in Premier League, always prudent, financially stable, didn't have much money, and has taken the club to a point that in such a decline that it's just a matter of time that we will drop. I hope that doesn't happen. I hope that the team that is the, is with us now at this moment in time gets better and we start winning football matches and we start doing well and do better than we're expecting to do, and we can see an improvement going forward. But they have taken the football club, which was what it was in 2016, which was financially stable, which was okay on the field. We did have a good squad of players. Yes, Martinez got sacked, and we were struggling in a sense because of how he was setting the teams up tactically and the players that he did bring in. And but the squad was still very good, and it just needed the right manager to put in. And I'm not going to go back in time when Koeman came in and the whole rigmarole of what happened from there all the way through to now. But it's been a mitigating disaster, and I'll be glad when they are gone. I just, all I have in my mind at this moment in time is this, is hope. Again, it's a hope thing. Am I on the fence with this? At the moment, I don't know what to think. I don't know if my feeling is that I don't want them. I feel it should be another investment group, another um, consortium of people who want to come in, who are good people, who want to do the right thing, and who have the right tools and the right skills to actually take this club forward. And I don't have any kind of confidence in this group coming in. I have no confidence at this moment in 777. But that's all from the noise that is out there regarding this group, and it's from like Paul, yes, saying that they're not good enough, and they don't have that money and financial backing or financial to be able to make this happen going forward. We will find out as the next few days, weeks, and months go on to see if what will happen next and see if they do have the money and it passes the Premier League test, it passes the regulator, and it goes through everything and it passes, and they take over the football club and they bring the right people in, and then we start seeing significant change. I don't know. That's the hope. That's the hope, that's the only hope I have, is that when we get to that period, that they come in and they do a good job. I don't know, but all that information, all that noise out there is indicating they're not going to do a good job and they're going to fail. That's the feeling I get, and I think probably a lot of fans are having the same feelings today about this, and it's just very, very concerning. That's my take on this. Let me know what you think. Please in the comments on here. Let me know what you think, even on social media. Just let me know what's your view. What do you think going forward? Is this the a right thing, wrong thing? What are you on the fence about it? Are you like me? Do you hope it will actually turn out to be a good thing in the end? I don't know. That's the only thing all I can do at this moment in time is don't know and just hope that something positive will come from the end of it. But at this time, there's going to be lots of discussions, lots of debate about this as the next few days, weeks, and months go on. So anyway, so yes, that's happened today. So it takes away a lot of what's the big thing, and the big thing that is the game on Sunday against Arsenal. That's what we should be all really be talking about. But as per usual, the owner and the board like to throw things in just before a big fixture on Sunday. But hey ho, nothing changes there then, does it? Anyway, let's talk about Everton Arsenal. It's a massive game for Everton. I think after the international break, after a couple of weeks, it's given some players an opportunity who've had injuries to get more fully fit and back to some more sharpness to put themselves in contention for Sunday. From what I've read, Jack Harrison's not ready yet, but I think he might be ready for the next game. Um, but Dominic Calvert-Lewin is on the grass and he's been with the group, so hopefully he'll probably might make the bench. That's my view. I think Beto should start. I think he's shown that he should be starting the games at this moment in time, and it kind of takes the pressure off Dominic Calvert-Lewin to make sure he gets himself back up to full speed. And it would be a great addition when he does come on as sub. If he does in the game, he might be able to contribute like he can do. So we'll see on that front. But yeah, going forward, it looks like it's going to be a very similar team to the Sheffield United game. Jared Branthwaite is fit, so he's okay. Tarkowski's okay. So it's just we're just waiting back on Seamus Coleman to come back in, and so hopefully, fingers crossed. I've heard today, Delhi is on the grass and he's with the physios with Seamus. So hopefully, next few weeks we might see Delhi might make the bench and might get an opportunity to stake a claim. We'll see how that pans out. But going forward, yes, it's all ready for the game. It's going to be a tough one, as you can guess. It's Arsenal who've come off the win against Manchester United, which I would probably say was a very even game, and I thought it should have been a draw personally because that's what I felt about that game. But you know what Arsenal are like; they are good enough. But we did beat them last season when they were doing quite well. So again, it's hopefully the same sort of performance, same sort of commitment that we want, and hopefully we'll come away with 3 points and kind of start the season properly and get back on, and go from there. Um, but I'm looking forward to it. Which is a bit strange for me. I'm looking forward to it, especially from little signs that I've seen with the Sheffield United game, especially in the second half. There was some positive signs that I saw from that game going forward, and because players are starting to come back from injuries that we need to come back, which will be really, really a massive help, and it makes the bench a little bit more stronger than it is. So on that note, yeah, it's going to be a good game, an exciting game. I just hope we can put that commitment and effort as we should be doing, and we can come away with some sort of result. It would be absolutely fantastic if we get a win. But of course, it is Arsenal, so yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll see what type of tactics is going to be like. I'm guessing it's going to be very similar to what he played against Sheffield United. So we will definitely see lots of crosses coming into the box, lots of getting Beto into the positions that um, he's shown signs what he can do. So fingers crossed. Let's go from there, and hopefully take some positives from that result, and try to take today's news and put it to the back burner for a little bit, and then after the game we can continue to discuss the takeover and what's going to happen in the future. But at the moment, it's one of those things. It's just another day in paradise for every Evertonian. Good old Phil Collins must be making millions with that song, especially if the amount of Evertonians have probably been sharing it. Just another day in paradise. So anyway, on that note, that's the today's podcast. It's a little bit shorter than usual. Um, just a couple of stories, couple of things to talk about today. Um, um, on that note, have a great weekend. Come on, you Blues. Let's get a result on Sunday, and I'll be speaking to you all again next week. So from me, goodbye.